por favor. E aí façamos a mudança para o inglês. Trocamos para o inglês. Yeah, we are on live now. So good evening, guys. Good evening, people who follow us as well on YouTube. We are here with some colleagues in order to practice and speak a little bit in English. We have new members today, so I believe that it's important to do the first part, that is the self presentation. But before that, I'm going to explain you briefly how it works. This is basically an English conversation. We don't have teachers here. We all are students. We are trying to master or boost our English level. So we are here just in to put it in practice, basically. The all English knowledge that we already have. So we don't correct each other. We are here just in order to share our ideas and our answers about today's topic. As I already mentioned, we're going to talk about mastering job interviews today. We have 15 questions, and we are going to try to tackle all of them. Well, the first question is always the self-presentation, and since today we have a new member, I believe it's important to do this part. Briefly, please, I'm gonna ask to Ebenezer, could you please introduce yourself briefly?
Good evening for everyone. My name is Ebenezer Castro. I'm from Bolivia. I'm living in Brazil. Uh, I think this is my third year living here in Sao Paulo, Brazil. I work as a software developer at the same company as Christian. Married, and I have two children.
Thank you so much, Ebenezer. Now, Felipe, please, briefly, if you could introduce yourselves to us.
Of course. Hello, guys. Hello, YouTube. Hello, everyone. My name is Felipe. I am 28 years old. I am married. I love studying English and Spanish for to travel and meeting people, the extreme culture, drinks. My free time, I like practicing sports, read a good books, watching good movies and shows. Something about me. Thank you so much, Christian, for this opportunity.
Thank you for being here again, Felipe. Now, Jubia, please go ahead. It's your turn.
Hey guys, I'm Hopia. I am 29 years old. I live in Florianopolis and I'm a student. I I study system and analysis development, analysis and system development, and I'm very interested in internship on data jobs, and I like to watching doramas, like K-pop, and I like to practice yoga and ballet too.
Thank you so much again, Juvia. And now our new member, Breno, please, if you could introduce yourself to us.
Hello, everybody. Good night. My name is Breno. I have 22 years old and I graduated in computer science and initiated postgraduated in scientist AI. Yes. And my job is practice sports. It's go to gym, play football, watch series, films, and this is it.
Thanks so much, Breno. And again, you will be always welcome to these sessions. And it's really interesting because we are almost, I believe that basically 100% people who work in IT area. So it's really interesting. Perhaps in the future we could like set up a topic specifically about IT. Well, the last but not the least, my name is Christian Jimenez. As Ebenezer said, we work for the same company and I work in IT area. I am from Bolivia, however, I currently live here in Brazil, specifically in Curitiba. I am married, I have no children yet, I have no pets yet. Let me see what else. I love playing volleyball. I love playing football and watching football matches as well. In my free time, I would say that I found a hobby that is learning new languages. That's why I started this small community that hopefully with time it's gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's it, a little bit about me, guys. So let's dissect the frog together now. Well, as already said, we are gonna talk about mastering job interviews. And it's gonna be really interesting because we are gonna know more about your own experiences. Okay, so let's go to the question number one. Jubia, could you please read the first one and answer it?
What steps do you take to prepare for a job interview? When I have to prepare to a job interview, I study the company, what are the projects, what are the culture. Um, I also study my own career or professional life, and also my academic life, my life experience. I have to think about it, and I practice in front of camera, answering the questions, and I have to prepare my mind to my
Mhm,
emotional to the interview. So
mhm.
I one day uh, before I have to prepare my mind for the
Mhm.
interview.
Thank you so much. You have really good strategies. Firstly, study the company. It's important. I had one experience when I forgot the name of the company that I was was given an interview. And after that as well, studying your own CV. Can you hear me, guys? No?
A little
What about now?
better now. Better for me. Better. Yeah. How about you
Mm,
guys?
Okay, okay.
No, no,
Anything.
Yeah,
no,
I
yes.
froze. I froze. Sorry, guys, it's my internet connection. So I wanted to comment something, but I believe it's gonna be the next in the next question. So, what are your strategies? How do you prepare for job interviews?
Excuse me, but we didn't hear the name.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
We don't
Uh,
hear your the people for asking this question because you're Kurt.
okay, okay. You can continue. You can continue.
Me? Me?
Yeah, go ahead, Felipe.
Ah, okay. So
Sorry.
when I heard this word interview, I don't know you guys, but I'm changing my emotion. I don't know. I'm feel more nervous. I don't know, guys, but I think it's one taboo. No, I try break it. No, so when I participate in one interview, guys, I try look for about the company on internet or LinkedIn about the purpose of the company. I try speak with the employees. I don't know, looking for one thing about the connection this company, you know, because the interview, in my opinion, is for the company and for by us, no, because it's one negotiation, no, about these two parts, no. So in Brazil, it's a little difficult because for us there is a lot of pressure. No, you are need prepared to interview. So this interview can change your life. So we put a lot of pressure. So it's very very difficult, no, My last interview, it's different because I participate in interview, but I don't understand this interview. I don't know you understand, guys, because I
Mm-hmm.
start one chat with the boss. So we speak about the purpose, the life, the lifestyle. So it was interview. So in my last interview, I very well. So I don't have a participation for this.
Mm-hmm.
So of course that depends the company, that depends your feeling, no. So
Mm-hmm.
it's natural. So
Mm-hmm.
nowadays I try, when I said break this taboo, I try prepare, I try speak with another people, so it's normal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like pressure, so I try teach this pressure, no, one of the same guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, something interesting that you said is that interviews it can be something random because every single company has its own like way to hire people. I
Hmm.
remember one interview that I was starting. It has to be it had to be in English, but the woman, the interviewer, started speaking in Spanish, so that made me feel like, but I was speaking in Spanish. So yeah, I believe that every single it's like road coaster
Hmm.
that world of interviews. Thank you so much for your comment, Felipe.
Thank you.
What about you? What do you think? Or what are the steps that you take before an interview?
Yes, I don't say other people's, but I very nervous in this moment, and I prepare my patient. It's difficult, but I prefer prepare the patient and my communication when I speak of if myself and the
Mhm.
search of the company. It's the proposal, or culture. That's it.
Don't worry about being nervous because I believe that everyone here is nervous at some point, even more when you are facing a job interview. It's really stressing. There is a lot of pressure because there is a lot of things in game. So I believe it's that's why we get under pressure and we get nervous. So yeah, it's totally normal, I would say. Thank you so much for sharing, Breno. And Ebenezer, what about you? What are your strategies? Let us know.
Well, I didn't have a lot of interviews in my life, but what I do is I start reading the description, the vacancy description, like understand what are they looking for, and try to I don't know, choose three, four um, uh, uh, histories about that, about my experience that can fit about what they are looking for. Uh, so mm, I try to talk just like what is necessary, not a lot. And in my case, if I remember when I have an interview, it depends of the interviewers, of course. What is the way that they want to take? Sometimes it's technical. Sometimes like they want to know better the person or the way you are. And well, I think that it's important to know what are the capabilities, the specification, or skills that they are looking for.
Yeah, it's completely important to study the position because sometimes the interviewer is gonna like give it to the table and bring it to the table, and if you don't know about the specifics, you will feel like lost. Another thing that you said, it's one thing that I would say is like always have your questions. In an interview, there is always one time that the interviewer is gonna tell you, "Do you have any questions?" So it's important to have at least one or two. So prepare your question in advance. I believe it's really important. And another thing that I would say that I learned because I did a lot of jobs interviews. As a matter of fact, that was the way that I started improving my English for free. It was like in real life, in flesh. exposing myself to the interview. So the other advice is it's better to say I don't know than try to fake it, because if you are like in a technical interview, the technical guy over there is gonna figure it out that you are just trying to like faking it. So yeah, it's some tips and some strategies that I currently use when I have one. Thank you guys. Let's move on to the question number two. Breno, could you please read the second one and answer it? The question number two.
Mhm. Why can job interviews be challenging for many people?
Now it's
And
your turn. Go ahead.
sorry, I think some people it's very nervous, and it's not unprepared to the interview. But I think the communication and the practice this leave a perfection. I don't know how the corner say is perfective. I don't know, but it's the practice indique the good interview.
Yeah, for sure. The if you do a lot of interviews, for sure you will be preparing yourself for the next one. So it's a matter of practice as well. So there are there are even some courses specialized just or focused just in job interviews part. So yeah, there are some times as well that people more prepared, they don't get the position, but just those who were like really good communicators and were capable to sell themselves, they are those who get the position. That happens as well. So it depends on people as well. Thank you so much, Breno. And Jubia, what do you think about it?
For me, job interviews is challenging because we don't have this kind of knowledge on school or college. We don't talk about it it in the places we are. We only know how to be good at the interview when we search for it or we buy a course to know about the how to get better in interviews and when you practice too. But when you practice and you don't know what are you doing wrong, it's really frustrating.
Yeah, thank you so much. And you said, and as Breno said, practice, practice, and practice. The more you practice, the better you will get. And as you said, the lack of acknowledge is something that hit us when we start like giving interviews because we don't know about it, and we just go there, and there are random questions. We feel frustrated because we don't know sometimes how what to say. Yeah, and it's the feeling is really really bad if we are not prepared. And for sure we all had that experience. Thank you so much, Jubia. Ebenezer, what about you? Why can a job interview can be challenging for people or for some people, for many
Well,
people?
for me, I think that it depends. It depends on situation. Maybe someone can depends of this job. So of course that will be very challenging. And one of the fact is that we are being evaluated by someone. So the company evaluates us, and we in a uh, so we need to highlight ourselves like they have a job vacancy and we are uh, the solve of this problem. So challenging because I I, th- I think that as a human we care about how people perceive us. So It's like if you are in an interview and you try to show them the best of you are, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe it doesn't go right, so maybe that can impact us badly.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I think it's very challenging for someone, because we are like in a career to get the job. So and there are a lot of people like me that are in the same career. So I think it's like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's very difficult for someone, and that's why I think it's challenging for everyone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's I completely agree with you. The one part that I found really interesting about the urgency of the job. Sometimes the that is the only choice or the only option perhaps that person is looking for, and that feeling or that mental feeling makes that person feel so anxious or under pressure at that moment because the importance of that job for that people. That's why I read a piece of advice there over there that is the best moment to look at a new job is when you already have one. So you won't like feel that pressure because you're already working. So you don't have like that pressure, that anxiety. Like I really need it. So it's the best moment to look for a new job. Thank you so much, Benicer and Felipe. What about you? What do you think about the question number two?
So, like Ebenezer said, there's a pen situation of people, no? Because, hi guys, to be sincere with you, it's to be evaluation. It's very isn't comfortable, no? Because you want to allow this opportunity and to try sell your experience, and the another part, the professional, it's very serious and this to try start this conversation, but you don't feel well in this situation. So for when I was younger, oh, it's horrible because we would understand nothing. When I said a lot of impression, you communication it's poor. So it's difficult, guy. But like Ruby and Breno said, you try training. I think learning another language it's good for just one interview. In my last interview, I remember the another people asked me about my English. My English okay, and he then respond me. So Felipe, now we only speak English, and I think, oh my god. But I remember this moment now because when we are here, we're training
Mhm.
now. So we're training our communication and speak another language, guys. It's one talent very well. So in
Mhm.
our mother law is more easy, try speak about your life, your lifestyle. So I try make it and my last interviews very well. So I think the secret it's try control your emotion.
Mhm.
Try speaking not a fast or not as low, as low, natural. No, try speak natural, and it's simple conversation. I know it's a little crazy speaking it now, but I think interview some it, but the emotion change out. I try keep my emotional and the okay, only one more conversation. So like Ebenezer said, that depends situation, that depends people. It's a lot of if factors for one interview. Christian, you're a mooch.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Okay.
Something that you said about like giving an interview in a different language. Imagine we are talking about like interviews in general. They are already difficult, so now add it a new language. Imagine how difficult it's gonna be. But with practice and with more practice, I'm sure that everybody here is gonna be ready to pass an job interview in English in this case. And yeah, and that's it. And nowadays there are a lot of interviews that are at least in our area that are online here. It can be in Google Meets with Zoom, and there are so many factors that can happen when you are like you're doing your giving your interview. Perhaps your internet connection is not good. You cannot hear well to the interviewer. So there are so many other factors that can affect your performance on an interview. Thank you, guys. It's been really insightful. Thanks so much for sharing. Now let's move on to the next question. Ebenezer, could you please read the third one? And I believe it's about describing our first interview. So if we could do it like briefly, because that experience can be a little bit longer. So let's do it briefly.
Okay. Well, in my case, my first job, I got my first job with no interview, so I cannot talk about that. It's like it was like I was uh, I was took to this job. But after when I got a job, I made a interview. It was really good interview. I appreciate that my interviewers were like a conversation that was like more about life and more about people. It was not in the first I can I say in the first step. It's like it was a conversation and to know more or know how you are, and not a technical interview. The technical interview was after this one. So I really appreciate that. We didn't talk about. We talked about experience, something like what do you do, what have you done, what did you study, what did you do, has developed until now, and something like that. So it was like that. I talked about my experience, and it was really good.
Thank you so much. So you were like you had a really good experience. You didn't need to give an interview for your first job, so it's pretty good. But I'm sure that you had different experiences, like giving another kind of interviews. Thanks so much, Ebenezer. Uh, Felipe, what about you? Do you remember your first interview, or perhaps one interview that you could share briefly?
Horrible. I try remember now, guys. It's so crazy because in my first interview I try speak my history, but I was very younger. I only 15 years old. I try speaking my lifestyle, but in these moments I'm feel a lot of nerves and I can't speak nothing. And I try speak the sound don't out, so it's horrible, horrible. But after this, I try improve, speak with another people. I remember in school, my teacher helped me a lot. I training with my friend. So the first interview horrible, but I get this job. I don't know why, but I get this job. One interview are horrible, but in put production good. My first interview, it's my first job.
Oh, okay, that was a story of success. Thank you so much, Felipe.
Thank you.
Perhaps you didn't do that like that horrible. Perhaps it was just in your mind. Thank you so much again.
Maybe
No,
yes, no, maybe yes. For
maybe.
me, horrible, but another people it's good. So
Yeah.
okay.
Thank you so much, Felipe. Breno, what about you? Do you remember your first interview, or perhaps one interview that you would share? You could share?
Yes, I remember. It's the same case with Felipe. It's my first interview, it's my first job, and it's horrible because I don't communication, don't have experience, então it's horrible, horrible. And in the same moment, I sit in chair and realize one test I não prepared, I don't prepared to text, então that's horrible.
Yeah, I can feel you when you know that you need to do something that you were not prepared for. It's really It can be really stressful as well. So I can feel you as well. Thank you so much, Breno. And now, Hubia, what about you? If you could share a job interview, your first one perhaps, or whatever interview that you had.
My first job interview was when I was looking for an internship on law school, and it was horrible. Have had so much social skills. I am a very introvert person, so it was very difficult to me. And I'm improving this along these years because I had to work and be more social. So my first interview was horrible too. I was very anxious, and I still feel these emotions, but now it's more easy to speak and to sell my experiences.
Yeah, for sure. As I already said, I can feel you as well because even though I already did a lot of interview or already gave a lot of interviews, I still feel nervous because it's a new person, it's a new company. There are new questions. You don't know if you are gonna have like a test like that Breno had, or it's gonna be just something that you're gonna talk about. It's random because every single company has its own interviews process. So yeah, when we face it, we have to be prepared for the unknown. I'm gonna say, and that's it. About me, let me see here. Well, I remember my first one. It was horrible as well. So I'm not sure if there is a person who could say my first interview was perfect. I don't think so. Well, in my case, yeah, it was like that. Actually, I had to speak in English in my first interview, and I had -1 English at that time. So it was the CEO. I remember that spoke to me in English, and I couldn't understand anything. So yeah, and I had a proof as well. So I had to like write code with a pen in a paper. So it was really difficult in my opinion. It was my first one. I didn't get a job, but in my third interview, I got my first job. That's it about my experience. Let's move on to the next question. Felipe, could you please rate? I'm gonna skip the question number 4 because we already talked about how we search companies. So let's move on to the question number 5. If you could read it and answer it, please.
Come on. What skill do you think are most important to highlight in an interview? I think, of course, that's a bit situation, but I think to be adaptation because on interview, on one chat, you need to be, you need to understand the moment to make you one joker or moment to make you more serious, the moment to speak about your one war experience or don't speak about your own experience, try sell yourself. So when you get this adaptation, it speak with another people, try to understand another one. I think it's more easy, you know. Oh, it's for example, this moment interview is very serious. I try make one some joker for to try to understand for adaptation this subject. Um, so I think it's most important because guy, everybody has one ability. Everybody is amazing person. So in this moment or interview, the difficult it's understand the moment. So sometimes you on interview for uh, you you are amazing this moment, but you share one bad experience about yourself and you lose the opportunity because
Mhm.
you don't understand the moment to be sincere ou don't to be
Mhm.
tão sério, não, tão sincero, to be tão so understand this moment. I think it's more important on interview because one evaluation
Mhm.
sometimes
Yeah.
we forget about it. So I think it's most ability to be one interview, Christian.
Mhm. Adaptation, being flexible, and understand the moment. I believe I paraphrased the key points that you mentioned. Thank you so much, Felipe. I agree with your
Thank
answer.
you.
Let's move on to Breno. What about you? What do you think? What are the skills that do you think are the most important in order to highlight in an interview?
Yes, I think it's you speak of your qualities, your experience. If I joke, I realize, Felipe, it's sell your fish. And speaking of your qualities, your experiences, if your opportunities, your courses you realized, and it's very important to communication with your people to the how can I say entrevistador,
Interviewer.
interviewer.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, it's important to sell your fish. I'm not sure if that expression exists in English, but I get your idea. We have something similar in Spanish.
Yes.
Yeah, basically at that moment you are selling your your value. You're showing, you're telling them what you can do, why they should hire you. So it's important to know how to do it. And it's an art. It's something that needs practice for sure. Thank you so much, Brenda, for sharing. Jubia, what about you? What do you think about it?
I'm studying about how to do a good interview, and I think it's important to, uh, when you are at an interview, to follow some steps when you are asking about something.
Mm,
And I learned about the STAR method. So you talk about a situation, a task, what action you take when you had that task to do, star, and the results. So action, task, is is star. No, situation, task, as. Enfim, I'm sorry.
no
But you
problem.
have to follow this step by step
Mm-hmm.
to answer the question, because when you do this, you don't get lost when
Mm-hmm.
you are saying something to the interviewer. And I think this helped me a lot
Mm-hmm.
to training my abilities to answer something that they ask me.
Yeah, that's very interesting what you said because when we communicate, sometimes we tend to like try to say everything in just one phrase. But when you have an structure, you start with the main topic, then you support it, and then you show the results or examples. And in that is following that the structure, you can give back a good response, and it's important to practice that as well. See, it was really pretty interesting because it's one structure as well, or the strategy that writers use to write paragraphs. It was something I learned when I was preparing myself to write an essay in English. So yeah, it's really pretty interesting. Thank you so much for sharing, Juvia. Ebenezer, what do you think about it?
Well, I can mention, I think, three aspects about this. Um, I think technical ability is important, but nowadays it's more important the problem solving. So I think today AI could be more technical than you, so or than I. So in this case, companies are looking for people that can handle, or how can they uh, uh, get solution about what the company needs. And another aspect is, as Felipe said, the ability to handle changes, adaptability, because everything changes, or maybe you have to move to another country and you have to change for in a different culture, or maybe the company culture is different than the culture that where you were working before. So how can you adapt adapt you to to the new place? And another thing is how coachable you are,
Mm-hmm.
because maybe you can know a lot, but uh, of course, there are a lot of things, or there are person that you could
Mm-hmm.
learn too. So you need to be coachable, need to be flexible about what people can share with you, and you can take always the good things of people, of your colleagues.
Yeah. Being a problem solver, it's really important nowadays. As well as showing you as coachable and teachable people is important, because if you show that you already know everything, it's difficult that they're gonna consider you as a good, like prospective employee. Because I believe it's important in IT area even more. We always work with teams, in teams. So we need to be coachable. We need to be ready to learn something new from others, because there will be always someone who knows something that you don't. So it's important to show that I'm not sure if that's not a skill, but that, let me see, what that specific part of your personal behavior. Let's put it in that way. Well, in my case, I believe that communication is essential. You need to impress them with the way that you express yourself, and the way that you share your professional pathway or your professional journey. I believe that's important. Another thing that nowadays being problem solver is important. And as well, something important. Let me see what else. Uh, well, if you studied before the mission and vision and the culture of the company, you will know if you will, like, it's a good match with you. So I believe it's important to know that, and share as well that you are like trying to, or at least you already have like experience working in that kind of culture. I believe that it is gonna help you, aside the technical skills that are important. But I believe that in a job interview, it is more like a combination. And that's it about my opinion. Let's move on to the next question. Let me see here. I'm gonna read the next one. The question number. Let me see here. Uh, have you ever practiced mock interview? What was the feedback like? In your opinion, what makes good interviews answer? Okay, let's go to the question number 9. Okay, I found this one kind of interesting. So, why is body language important in an interview? What do you think about body language or gestures when we are like in an online interview? What do you think about it, Felipe?
Totally important. Christian, nowadays I try learn to understand more about it because our body speak to. I try speaking now. Speak with my hands. I think it's a little uh, different. No? So sometimes our body show bad thing about us. So try nowadays. I try to understand about it. I try to learn. So on interview, it's very important. Our outfit, our clothes too. So our body speak too. So learning about it in one interview, it's important, very important. So
For sure. I've been like not reading like a book, but I watched some videos about it, and our body talks a lot, not just our mouth. There are some gestures, or when we cross our hands in a different way, it can show confidence, or it can show the opposite, or it can show as well. I forgot the word what I wanted to say, but yeah, your body talks a lot, and just the fact that being like staring at that person I making eye contact is important, and sometimes we don't do that. It's something like simple, but we don't do that, and it's part of body language as well. Thank you so much, Felipe. And Jubia, what about you? What do you think about body language in an interview?
It's something I am studying too. I learned that when you are at an interview, to create a connection with your interviewer, sometimes you can copy what they are doing. Like
Mhm.
if they are doing something like this, you can do something like this fast, not to stay like this, to create connections. Body language is it's important to smile too, not look like a psycho, but to smile sometimes is something that changes the mood of the conversation. And I studying about this because I I don't understand so much these expressions of the body. So it's something really important, and people must know more about
Mhm.
this subject.
Yeah, and something that you said about having a balance, because body language is important, yeah, but we cannot be like over there like all the time, like smiling like some psycho, as you said. So we need to have a balance. Otherwise, we're gonna show ourselves like weird. So thank you so much, Juvia. Ebenezer, what about you? What do you think about body language on interviews?
Yeah,
In an
I
interview?
think we had a session about body about communication, and we talked a lot about body language and how important it is. So in an interview, I think a uh, presential interview, I think it could be better for both sides, for the interviewer and the recruiter. So yeah, I agree with you guys. The way the body uh, communicates, I think it show how confident you are, or in some cases, body can can communicate inconsciently. So it's important for me. Eye contact too is very important because it shows how engaged you are in the conversation or in interview. So that could be good for you and
Thanks so much, Vinicius, for sharing. And now to finish that question, Breno, What about you? What do you think about body language in interviews?
I think I felt very insecure in this moment, and I improvising in last time, and I prefer improvise because it's I I think me it's better, and in this moment I answered the questions, but I don't I don't think it's correct, but it's okay for me.
Yeah, it's well, I would say it's a good practice because you with time you will get like flexible, and your answer will be like natural. So yeah, with time, with practice, for sure. And I understand everything that you're saying, so don't worry about it. I get your point. So yeah, body language, from my view as well, is important. As Ebenezer said, we talked about communication, and there is no communication without body language. We need to know how to use it in our favor, and if we master it, for sure, it's gonna add a lot of value in our communication skills, and as a result, in an interview, because an interview is just communication and communication. That's it about the question number 9. Let's move on to our, I believe it's going to be our last one before going to the feedback moment. Let me see here. Felipe, could you please pick up one question from 10 to 15, whichever you
Yeah.
want?
I chose one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Question 11. Have you ever practiced a monk interview? What was the feedback like? Mm, yeah, the participation. It's more easy, when it's don't a serious interview. So I remember the feedback is about I try control my nervous, try make one storytelling. For example, the interview about IT. I start speaking myself, but I conduction my history for IT. So try make one story interview for my experience, like the opportunity, I forget the word, para a vaga of opportunity,
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's the best feedback I can give, because I understand. I try make one storytelling, speak about my good point,
Mm-hmm.
about my experience, but don't forget the goal. The goal is interview, so
Mm-hmm.
it's a good experience for me.
Yeah, it's important to practice it, and you forget about the pressure, about the anxiety, and for sure you perform better when you don't have those feelings. So it's important to do like mock interviews, and even better if you have someone who is gonna give you a feedback, or if it's technical, you can get a feedback in a lot of web platforms. If it's a IT technical interview, I know a lot of platforms that offers that feedback. Thank you so much, Felipe. Jubia, what about you? Have you ever practiced a mock interview?
Um, I practice a mock interview on Gemini with the AI.
Mm-hmm.
I don't practice with real people.
Mm-hmm.
I think if I practice with real people, it would be better. But that's what this is what I have a sex. So at least when I practice with the AI,
Mm-hmm.
they give me the feedback so I can improve what I was doing, and and that's it. But I want to try to do a mock interview with people one day.
Hmm. Yeah, you mentioned AI, and nowadays we have that tool that is really important, and we can use it in that way as well. I've never used AI for like practicing job interviews, but perhaps I wanna use it in the future. Thanks so much for sharing, Juvia and Breno. What about you? Have you ever practiced like a mock interview with someone or one with AI or with a platform? Let us know.
If yes, I practiced with my friends in my first interview, and in the last year I practiced with Gemini and ChatGPT. I think the feedback is good, not the best, but it's good. And I think it's the practice. I think the practice it's okay, and I prefer speak of my friends or parents,
Mhm.
and the feedback it's better. But the chat GPT suggestion other melhorias, how can I say melhorias?
Improvements.
Improvements, other improvements.
Something interesting that you said that it's that you practice with a friend. In my case, if I could do that with a friends, I believe it wouldn't work because perhaps we would like ending like just laughing about each other. I'm not sure, but for me it would be like really difficult to do it with a friend. But I'm sure that your preparation helps you to get your job or do it perform well in your job interview. Thanks so much, Breno. And to finish this question on our session, Ebenezer, have you ever practiced with a platform, with an AI, with a friend?
Well, actually, I in this case, I didn't practice an interview. It's what I used to practice more technical questions like
Hmm.
that, but interview like that, I have never practiced. I think
Hmm.
that's why they didn't hire me. It's a good it's a good opportunity to start practicing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Thank you so much, Ebenezer. Well, in my case, I've never practiced like a mock interview. I believe that I just went there and I practiced it in flesh with real interviews, and that helped me with the next one. It was kind of hurtful at the beginning, but nowadays I feel more comfortable like giving interviews. And that's it, guys. So we have 1 minute to share our experience on today's session. I would like to know from you briefly if you learned something new and how was it? How was your experience on this session? Benicer, you can start. If you learned something new or your experience.
Yeah. Hearing about the experience of all you guys, I think I I learned how important we prepared about an interview. So there are many ways, many tools that can improve the interview, and of course there are a lot of topics that could be important in an interview, like body language,
Mhm.
that maybe someone can think that is not important, but in this case are important. And of course, in understand about where are you trying to uh, uh, apply, yeah, where you're applying, know a lot about the
Mhm.
vacancy and the company too. I think it's important.
Thank you so much, Ebenezer, for sharing and for your presence. Jubia, how was it for you, or if you learned something new this night?
This conversation was very important to me because I don't talk uh, about this subject
Mhm.
a lot, but that's something is really important to me because I'm looking for internship on my on TI,
Mhm.
So to be here and improving my English skills is very important too. And I I really like this kind of conversations
Mhm.
in English.
Thank you so much, Juvia. And for sure, everybody has learned at least new vocabulary about interviews on this session. Thank you so much again. Breno, what about you? How was your first experience here with us? And if you learned something new, if you could share something.
Yes, I like this because it's the communication in practice is better, and I would like practice every week. I don't practice or 3 or 4 years, and
Mhm.
I love this. I would like practice every week, and the experience is the best.
Thank you so much again for being here, and I'm sure that you are going to improve your English rapidly. And thank you so much again. And to finish this part, Felipe, go ahead. How was it for you? And if you learned something new today?
Bro, I learned a lot of things in the amazing topic, amazing immersion, because I'm very happy when I practice with another people, because
Mhm.
nowadays I only speak with AI. AI, it's horrible. When we speak with real people, it's another type, guys, because we make mistakes. I try to understand, I try to learn.
Mhm.
So it's real life, and for me, the best things, the best method to understand and learn something. So
Mhm.
this topic is amazing for develop myself. Think about my future interview. So Christian, amazing topic, man. You're amazing. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you so much, Felipe. And something that I wanted to say as well is that it's important to know other experiences because sometimes we said, okay, my first interview was horrible. I'm still horrible at interviews. But when we hear other experiences, we realize that we are not alone, that everybody has struggled on interviews. So it's important to share that as well. And the that's something that we try to find or to express in this community. And that's it about today's topic, guys. I hope to see you the next one. I'm gonna post the enrollment link on LinkedIn, on Instagram as well. And that's it. So I wish you a good night, and I hope to see you the next time. Bye bye.
Good
Bye bye. Thanks so
night.
much.
Thank
See
you so
Bye.
you.
much. Bye bye.
Boa
Ciao.
noite.
Boa noite.